Yo, we're back. We're back at it. It's your boy Chris J, Trell Sav, Tyler here. As we get ready to talk basketball with you guys. If you are watching us, of course, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to YouTube Media. And follow us on that Threes from the Ring. A lot going on basketball wise. That's all I can really say. A lot is going on. As we I think most teams is 25 games or less right now. It's looking like 25. Yeah, 25 games or less. A lot of competitive ball going on. A lot of just competitive play, and it's getting real out here. So before we get to the real talk, we gotta take a moment give one LeBron Raymond James a round of applause, as he is now the lone and probably the only player that will ever have over 40,000 points as an NBA player.
Yeah, shout out to one of the GOATs.
Exactly.
Didn't know that nigga's middle name was Raymond, but 40K is an astounding achievement. I don't think it'll be touched. I'm not gonna say the great players in this era don't care, but the overall nucleus of players coming after him, I don't think they would care enough to get to 40K. So it's not getting touched.
I don't even say it's about being caring enough. It's just the fact of being consistent enough for 20 plus. At this point, LeBron's about to play another 2-3 years. Playing 23 years and averaging at least over 20 points a game.
These niggas don't want to play games sometimes, so
it's not even just that. It's just the consistency in regards to it. So, especially points is going up. Players, you got players like Shea and Luka averaging 30 with ease, and still, that'll make up not playing full 70, 80, 70 plus games a year. But you're still not going to make it because you're probably not going to play over 12 years, possibly.
And then they're not going to let them. It's just how do I say it? The people upstairs is not going to let somebody play that long. Play that many games, even if it takes that many games. People have been doing the math. It would take a lot of games for you to play to get that. Bron has played multiple 77, 78 game seasons. Game seasons and stuff like that. So, it will take somebody to do that many, and they're not going to do that many. They're having a hard time getting players to play 65. So, we won't see it just because of that and the stock the league puts on these players, and then just things like that. Sengun just got an ankle injury that might be extremely serious.
Ankle injury
that might be extremely serious.
Who?
Out for Spoon, the Rockets' best player by a mile. And it's just the only person I can see do that is Wemby, but I think he go for more defensive records and stuff like that. I think Wemby might break the block record, most likely, in his career. I think he'd probably be up there to never mind. They don't let that nigga rebound, so I don't think he's gonna touch Elijah Wan and them on that rebound list. But it takes a lot. Mind you, somebody like Kareem did it in a time when it was only they put in one person to score the ball. They did it. Wilt had that record for a while. Malone was close, but those are people who played absolutely for a long time. And I think right now I do see a lot of people how they're not celebrating Bron achievement as much as they celebrate other achievements, which is crazy. I think they celebrated the to him passing Kareem, okay, they gave him and whatchamacallit pass balls, but when Curry broke that 3-point record, nigga, they stopped the game. Like it was halftime. And it's so I think there is it's kind of crazy. That's the only person to hit 40,000 points in a National Basketball League, still playing at the level of top 15 player in the league at his old ass age, approaching 40. It's kind of not disrespectful, but it's kind of crazy. But I admire Bron. One of the only people, I tell this people all the time, one of the only people I see him walking down the street, I'm probably running to get something autographed. It's not that many people that I will be like, yeah, I got to get Bron on it. I got to shake Bron hand. Probably him and a few other select people. So, it's amazing to see. Like, I grew up a Bron admirer. And I wouldn't say stan, because I'm not really a fan of anybody on basketball, but I grew up a Bron admirer from, like, basically when I've been able to remember. I have seen LeBron James play basketball. Being from Chicago, seeing people hate the man just because he got comparison to his favorite player of all time. And right now, even a basketball talk is at its absolute worst. And I like praise Bron. The league won't be the same. Like when Bron say it's my farewell tour, I don't know how the league is going to react to that. But he's just been at a level of greatness for 20 plus years. It's insane to see. And I just think more flowers need to be given to him. And more praise needs to be shown to him. We look at this man as if every time we see this man, it's as if he's championship of bust, and folks is 40. Basketball age, he probably 62. So like, it's crazy. We don't even see him as a legend that's walking around on a sport. We see him still as, we look at Devin Booker or Jayson Tatum and stuff like that, person that's still going. Like when Vince Carter was dying on the Atlanta Hawks because he was garbage. We looked at Vince Carter, at everything he did as a legend on the court. When Kobe was struggling to shoot above 36% to get 20 freaking points, we looked at him as a legend on the court, as we should, because Kobe is a basketball goddamn pantheon, and so on and so forth. And now we just look at Bron as like, oh, he's one of the guys. And I don't think that should. It should be a red carpet for every arena he goes into. Like, especially if he's breaking a record in your arena. The man got 40, 10, and 5? 40,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, or 5,000 assists, or vice versa? Like, who else going to get to that point? So, yeah. That was my mini respect Bron rant. I apologize.
Oh, you good? Like, it's needed. And
I agree with everything you said. I agree with everything you said. I definitely think it's not getting the attention and the praise that that he should really be getting. And then it's like you wonder why there's like why he is the way he is. Like, he doesn't appease to anybody's wishes. He's doing what he thinks is best for his career, which is what he's been doing his whole career. He definitely, maybe it'll change when he finally, gets into his season where he's about to retire. But even still, it's like nobody has hit 40K, bro. I don't even think anybody has hit. Is there any stat in baseball or football where anybody has hit like 40K of something?
I gotta look. Possibly in Pat. The only thing, baseball, you ain't hitting 40K anything. That's just being honest. But let me see. Probably for football, it's probably passing yards. Let me look up Tom Brady. I'm pretty sure he's the
And if it's Tom Brady, that's another testament to greatness right there, because he played until he was 42.
Tom Brady, 89,214 passing yards for his career.
So yeah, that would be 40K still for just in basketball terms. 40K is a lot, bro. That's a lot of you consistently never score. You were never huff. You never got to a huff point in your career.
Oh, and that's true. For LeBron, like we've seen everybody in LeBron's draft class, the legendary 03 draft class, legit fade to dust in some capacity. But him. Melo, we seen Melo. Melo got a podcast mic in his face. D Wade, same thing, podcast mic in his face. And we seen them both fall off. Well, Melo tried to be a role player. D Wade was just the face of Miami. So even then, Chris Bosh, unfortunately, his career ended prematurely when he was about to enter probably the best years of his career.
Man, they was just talking about that on I think it might have been Udonis Haslem and Mike Miller's show that they got. They were just talking about Bosh.
Yeah, and
that sucked. Like that was heartbreaking.
Yeah, like I remember because Bosh was really hooping those that year.
But and he just got paid too.
Yeah, like they gave him Bron money. They were like, "Look, you stay, you take his check," and he was cool with that because he was about to be a Rocket. Either way, point is though, we've seen players who was in draft classes beyond him already fade to dust. Like and it's people who supposed to be the next bearers of the Bears, the face of the league, and like the Ben Simmons and all of that, who not even get on the court, So it just says, for one, like luck, because a lot of it is luck in terms of health and LeBron's way of keeping in shape to alleged means. Either way, you have to respect the greatness. You have to respect what he is doing, because this won't be mimicked ever again. Like, I know a lot of people want to say, oh, Luka, Wemby, X, Y, and Z, they're going to be the next faces of the league, but they're like, nobody ever came in with the hype that Bron had. I got out of high school, and he's lived up to it in every manner. And those who saying, oh, the league is going to be a better place because no player won't have the media narratives and stuff that Bron was able to control. Y'all said the same thing. Y'all say this, and then when Mike left, who also had a very tight lip on the media, when Mike left, there was no bearer of the league until Kobe, and Kobe barely had that because what he did in Colorado. So like the league ain't gonna be in a better place because it's gonna be nothing but people fighting to try to have that face of the league type. You dig, and probably just won't happen. It's going to.
And then the minute that they get even an inch close to that level of where Bron and them was at, they gonna slander them just like they did him.
And it's gonna be
it was supposed to usher its way for Curry being that face, or KD being that face, and when Curry's, unfortunately, you can see the age coming out with him. I ain't even gonna hold you. He probably got like 5 more years. Not even just elite basketball, but just like basketball. And then you look at KD. KD is kind of like a phenomenon, I think, in my opinion. KD is another person I don't see aging. Like Curry, like if Curry was as good as he was, say for instance, 3 years ago, he wouldn't be fighting for a playing spot. Just the way it is in my book. And I think Curry is still better than 80% of the league, but especially in that West, you can tell he's outclassed by a lot of players, and he can still shoot. He can still give you 40 on the Sacramento Kings, unfortunately, and that nigga owns that city, and things of that nature. But like, I do see, man needed Draymond for them to start actually going on a streak of wins. So it's looking like the end of that. But and like I said, KD is a phenomenon. But now we look at the face of the league. I know some people say Jayson Tatum, damn sure ain't Luka yet. He ain't man's ain't never been no. So like, it's always been that triune of KD, LeBron, and Steph, and all of them at the tail end of their career.
They're probably all about to leave at maybe around the same time.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it'd probably be once Bron leave, he probably leave 2 years later or something like that. You know what I mean? It's
going to look like when it was like Kobe, Duncan, and KG and Dirk, all of them retired at around the same time. That's what it's going to look like.
Before Dirk had to retire. They said, hey, this is your last All-Star game. He was like, I didn't say I was retired. Okay.
It's your last one.
It's your last one.
It's your last.
Out of here. We clean your locker out tomorrow.
Oh, God. They told Mark Cuban, quit giving that nigga money.
Sit his ass down now, G, please.
Like, shit. But, you know, I absolutely think that these niggas no type of. I also think that I think like the more of this Bron 40K stuff, I think more respect needs to be given to the GOATs of our generation before they go. I know we gave Kobe a go home tour and stuff like that. I think that should have been made because the influence of Kobe was crazy. Like, so I think there still should have been things more over. I know he's about to get a statue soon too, so I know that's kind of he already got the statue.
Supposedly Kobe's supposed to get 3 statues,
which he should. Staples is the house that he built.
I believe so too.
Which
they need the bronze statue need to be put up. He should have one right now while he's still active. I'm not even gonna lie.
I don't think Bron one. I don't think they're gonna give him a statue while he's still active. Even though I believe he probably should too, but I don't think they're gonna give him while he's still active because that looks like I don't know the right word for that, but it looks like
it looks weird.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I see what you're saying, but still, like that's how they need to at least be working on it now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's on the Cavaliers. So
yeah, I agree. For Bron getting I know people saying should Bron get one in LA. All depends on how they feel, bro.
He's not getting one in LA. I don't even want to.
A lot of people said like, oh, he gotta win or something. Like Elgin Baylor got one in LA.
I mean, he did win one, but still, I don't think everybody in LA that's played in a Laker uniform needs a statue.
I think the only argument with that he can get a statue in LA is that he broke records in that jersey.
Yeah,
like you can't. That's
valid.
You can't like.
You can't that's something like that's a valid point. Like he came here to wrap his career up, won y'all a ring, even though the Lakers standard is minimum 2. But he did set the career league records in that uniform. So that's his case. I still don't believe it's strong enough, darn him winning another one.
I think it's a stronger case for him to get his jersey retired in 3 different franchises, though.
That will happen.
Yeah,
I can see that happening.
His jersey will get retired, not as fast as other people's jerseys get retired. His jersey will get retired. To be honest with you, Cleveland should have cranked to Orlando and not retire any jersey until they retired Bron's first.
Right, because who was greater in that franchise than Bron?
It's like I don't care what was you. LeBron should have been retired first. I don't care what anybody say. Respect to who probably even retired from Cleveland.
Ilgauskas was the only one I think in recent memory.
Yeah, look, respect to big folks.
Hey man, Ilgauskas was LeBron's number 2, G.
He be like that sometimes, but.
Oh man, shout out to Gaskins. Shout out to Gaskins. No more respectful man. But I get why he got his jersey. Like, look, the bar for Cleveland, the bar is in hell. So, like, yeah, it's easy to get a jersey retired. Like, and no offense to Gaskins, he had a solid career. I get it. But arguably though, like, it's guaranteed. Like, LeBron's gonna get the whole. You dig when it comes to Cleveland, he's gonna get the jersey retirement. He's gonna get the statue. Shoot, he might get a whole freaking section named after him in that arena for all we know. Especially after he buys that bitch. So
no, it's definitely going down. He gets some stake in that franchise.
If LeBron doesn't be the owner of the Las Vegas franchise, he's playing too. Him and Usher's gonna buy the Cleveland Cavaliers.
You sure Usher only,
Usher is a minority owner, so
I mean, like, he got some of them engagements coming his way, man.
Oh yeah, you're right. Hey.
He also needs his jersey retired by the team he scored the most points on.
Who's that?
Either the Bulls or
well, that jersey's already retired.
Yeah, he retired 20.
Retired to 6.
Retired to 6.
I think it's either the Bulls, the Raptors. It's somebody. It's an Eastern Conference team, but it's got to be either the Bulls, right Raptors.
If y'all want the ownership group to actually be going, they do that shit. They will not be a.
Well, technically, the funny thing is the Miami Heat did retire Michael Jordan jersey.
I ain't gonna lie though, that was kind of dick ride because ain't nobody else do that shit.
You talking about kinda? That was pure eating. He was slamming on meat. He was munching on straight meat when he did that. I don't care what anybody say. That nigga was meat munching.
Yeah, that's wild. It is the Bulls. LeBron has scored 1,800 points on the Bulls.
Go ahead and can't nobody wear 6.
For a person with 40,000 points, only 1,800 on the Bulls.
Yeah, so it's 1,800 on the Bulls, 1,700 against the Bucks, 1,700 against the Pacers, 1,700 against the Hawks. I ain't surprised the Celtics is in here. Yes. So those his top 5 teams is the Bulls, Bucks, Pacers, Hawks, and Celtics. He proceeded to give all those teams buckets.
Yes.
So, in a way, I'm not shocked. Team that got the least. Hold on, I'm trying to see the Kings, which makes sense.
Most probably skipped half of them games his career.
Yeah, the Western Conference teams I get because
the time he got over there, them niggas was kind of good. So.
Exactly. So it was just like, okay, now I gotta play y'all 4 times. But let's go ahead, move on. Shout out to Bron. Keep up because literally, it might by the time he retires, he might be between 42, 43,000, 45,000. It might be 40.
I really at this point in time, I can't see nobody passing that.
The only thing in my brain is it says Wemby gets the closest. That's the only thing in my brain that says Wemby gets the closest. And that's barring tall nigga injury. But I think nigga Wemby's in the discussion of defensive player of the year in his first freaking year, bro. He most likely
Wemby will win it. Wemby will win it if the Spurs at least won 30 games. If they won at least 30, he will win.
I think Gobert winning that because that nigga got the first place with the Timberwolves. I don't think anybody was taking that shit from him. But yeah. And but Wemby been the second best defender in the league.
Look, man, them French niggas about to be giving out hell in the Olympics next year, man. This year, my fault. This year. So God bless.
Wemby got a brother too.
Nobody talking about Victor.
Look, bro, nobody cares about Wemby's brother, G. Like I said, Wemby,
nobody cared about Wemby until niggas brought him up.
That's cap. Tony Parker introduced us to some long, lanky French nigga, bro. It was.
I'm talking about until then. Nobody cared until he got
Nobody knew they was throwing that nigga in the lab.
Nobody knew. But at the same
everybody was
time,
focused on like Zion and stuff and things of that nature. Nobody knew they was growing folks in that lab, man.
Growing another one.
The blood of nobody knew that the blood of Tuskegee Airmen was going to create a 7'6" basketball savant. G. Nobody expected this. G. So that said, I don't care about the Wembanyama brothers versus the Antetokounmpo brothers 2 years from now. G. I'm good. I'm cool. So anyway, let's go ahead, move on while we're on the topic of the Antetokounmpo. The Bucks. The Bucks are starting to look like they figured it out after a very crazy stretch of Doc trying to figure this team out, and I think we're starting to get there. The Bucks have won a few decent, really good games, besides a very troubling loss against the Lakers, where D'Lo went ahead and dropped almost 50, and while AD only had one arm in the second half. So. And also, still, I can't get over this. I really can't. Spencer Dinwiddie blocking Dame shot.
Oh, man, look. It happens, bro.
Look, man. No. Like, even though I'm glad the Lakers won that game, I had to turn the TV off and be like, yo, I really saw that. Okay, cool. That really happened.
You know, I'm immune to great players getting their shit sent by garbage. After Mario Hezonja,
gee,
LeBron shot for them niggas not to go to the playoffs, bro.
Gee, that blew the hell out of me.
After that, I got immune to that shit, bro. I ain't even gonna hold you.
That was OC.
I don't think I even looked at basketball the same after that, bro.
That's when I knew. I'm like, yeah, Bron really losing it. That's what it really hit for me. I'm like, yeah, man, it's a matter of time now, man. But no, like the Bucks have won like 7 of their last 10. They on a good streak of games. Dame has been hooping, especially holding it down where Giannis was out for one game. So should we really take the Bucks seriously again? Now they're knocking the coach.
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think like I don't think like I'm not gonna say that it's completely over because the Lakers beat them and shit like that. But I'm also not gonna say they still in any shape or form to be a great team. Going forward and stuff like that. I think the firing of a coach mid-season, unless their name is Darvin Ham, is a crazy decision, bro. And I think it's still gonna bite them in the butt because I don't know if that nigga told like, hey, we got to get rid of Giannis' brother. He kind of garbage. And Giannis was like, who do you think you're talking to? Get out of my organization. But that's the only thing I could think of because like they was third in the West. He was just trying to figure out like how to use Dame and Giannis effectively together, like, which is not an easy thing to do. Like, so that's why I'm like, you fired him in for trying. Like, it took Ty Lue a month to get that team on track. That's how long it takes to get the ball dominant players to play with each other. It took Steve Kerr some time to get the Warriors on track. It took so many people so much time to get people on track and stuff like that. I don't know why you fired it. It was dumb. So dumb niggas make dumb decisions. That franchise is a very dumb franchise, and
Tyler, your thoughts on the Bucks over the past couple of weeks?
I like that they're getting it together. I don't know if it fully convinces me that they can come out of the East just yet. I'm on with Trell with the firing of Adrian Griffin. It just didn't make sense. I don't care if you are bringing in Doc Rivers, who's a coaching veteran to some degree. It didn't make sense from a basketball perspective. There was no reason to do it. What was he doing wrong from a basketball perspective for you guys to fire him? So that was just kind of dumb. But outside of that, I just hope that they maybe they're one of them teams that they once they get it rolling again, they just roll through it. But it's a wait and see. It's a wait and see to me. I think that where they at in the standings right now?
I believe they are number 2.
Number 2?
Yeah,
they can't be 2.
I believe they're 2. In the East, they should be number 2. Let me look. I believe, they're number 2.
So yeah, I think it's so more than likely if they stay number 2, then more than likely it'll probably be Boston in the second round. I believe
they'd be the final round.
It'd be final round.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think it's a wait and see. I think it's other teams in the East, that's doing good as well. Obviously, not contending good, but teams that'll take you through a series.
Orlando Magic.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Orlando is definitely. If there was an award for most improved team, they probably would get it this year.
That nigga Pablo a star. Okay?
Yeah, he's
star.
That boy could hoop. But I just think it's a wait and see with the Bucks. I think the Celtics are still, the favorite to come out, rightfully so. But even with them, they have to prove it. They have to prove that they really we're taking it this year.
For me, with the Bucks, and let's just so wrap up and go on to the next topic. Like I said, it's honestly good that they are playing a good string of basketball at this time of the year, because best way to get momentum, aka look at the Nuggets. And even though I can't sit there and say half of the core, the majority of the core of the Bucks is from that title team. Like Giannis is still there, Middleton is still there, Brook and Portis is still there. So that core is still present. So they know when to step up the gear. It's just you're putting Dame in there. Like I said, they're playing better defensively, because that was the main issue with Adrian Griffin. I'm like, it's no way a team that has 2 defensive player of the year candidates from previous years be this bad defensively, even with Dame on the court. So they are playing better defensively. It's just a matter of, is it going to be Doc that screws it up come playoff time? That's just what we're going to see. Is it Doc going to pull the second round Doc blunder, or the third round conference finals Doc blunder? Because as we about to transition, when I look at these East standings, nobody should be giving them a hard time except maybe the Knicks, and that will be in the second round.
Philly,
yeah.
When Joel Embiid come back, probably.
If Embiid comes back, and even then, that's it. If Philly right now is the 6th seed, so that's an interesting situation in itself. So we'll see what happens with Philly, because they've been slowly plummeted. I won't say slowly, quickly plummeted down to standards since Embiid been gone, and they doing all they can to fight for their lives. So let's see where things go. So let's go ahead and move on to our next topic. So what I want us to do, I want us to list or at least I won't say list. I want to say us to determine, because I feel like a lot of people, with this being a very open NBA Finals potential year or NBA title team, like the parity's crazy right now. It's easy to say the Nuggets, they're the safe, sexy pick because they are the former champs. But with that said, it's a lot of pretenders who are being coded as contenders. And I want us to determine who's your pretender who's being called a contender right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very, very, very hard question. I think with that, it's more of like not that many people are actually good in my eyes to go. Like at first, I was saying like the Knicks is like a contender, but now they look like a pretender to me. But that's also injuries that bump up. You know what I mean? Like I would say the biggest one that everybody probably knows about that's a pretender is probably the Clippers. But that's also a health reason thing. Like, can they be healthy at that time? Phoenix is definitely not going to be there. Dallas definitely not going to be there.
Well, I'm not really trying to count the Suns. Like Suns, Dallas, Lakers, Warriors, all in the playing fight. So I'm not even taking them serious.
So you really just want us to mollywop the Timberwolves.
And
really. like that. Hey, but I don't have a problem with what the Timberwolves rank right now in terms of how respected they are in the league. Because Timberwolves, they never been at this spot before since they had a vice lord on their team. So I'm kind of happy for what they got going on right now. Now though, pretender, I don't think so. I think they make the Western Conference Finals. I think that defense is good enough. I think that what is I'm trying to say? I think that what am I trying to say? I think that the depth is good enough as well. I like it all depends if Karl Anthony Towns is playing, actually playing good. That's my belief. If Karl Anthony Towns is playing and he's playing good, we're good. As the Timberwolves. So I don't think they're gonna be pretending for much longer, but if I would have to say a pretender just on the fact that we have to rely on Karl Anthony Towns, then yes. But man, I think they're gonna be there, bro. Like in my heart of hearts, I kind of think they're gonna be there. So,
all right, Tyler.
I was actually gonna say, to your point about the Timberwolves, it's not that I think they're pretenders per se. I don't think that they're ready. I didn't see them in a contending spot. I just see them as it's good to see them on the come up as far as getting to that type of spot. Because I can see them in a conference finals this year too, if all, works out for them. I would say the team that I would say it might be pretenders, and even I don't even know if pretenders is the right word to use for them, because they're another team, like they could be a couple years away from a finals berth. But the Thunder right now, I think the Thunder fits that category too. I just think that they're still too young. They just don't have the playoff experience to make it all the way this year or even next year. I think they're a couple years away from that.
No, I agree.
As far as the East goes, definitely the Knicks. I just really never believed in the Knicks. I don't really think this is a team that you realistically. I don't see this team ever making the finals. Honestly, that's just my honest opinion.
Sheesh.
It's really nobody else in the East that's even sniffing a conference finals outside of like the top 3 teams. Like I just don't see it. So half the East are pretenders.
All in my heart, well, I always will say this probably is the Celtics here from Boston. But I don't think they're gonna do it this either.
Look, man, that's why
I'm not mad at that though.
Celtics is my pretender.
Celtics is your pretender?
I can't take them serious, G. And it is because of that light skinned nigga, G. It's mainly because of Tatum, bro. It's just with Tatum supposed to be that dude by now, and it's like, why?
It's not clicking.
It's just not clicking. He plays like a 6'10" Steph Curry, where he needs to be playing like a KD light, type dude, and it just confuses me a lot of times because nobody should be able to stop him with his skill set, and he stops himself. And it's just every time for big games, he isn't the big game performer. It's Jaylen Brown, and it's not because I'm not blaming no left Jaylen at all. It's just the fact that Jaylen shows up for these moments more than Tatum do, and that's a problem. That's a huge problem, and it's like it'd be one thing if Jaylen Brown was a Jayson Tatum level player. He's not. So when I watch games like the other night against the Nuggets, and Jokic and Murray just dominating, I'm just like, okay, I see Jayson. Jaylen Brown cooking. I see others trying, but then where's Tatum at? Nowhere to be found. That's an issue to me. And this has been the issue for the past 3-4 years. And when I even look at how the East standings look, you have no excuse, but you have to shut me the hell up to prove me otherwise, because your best bet is hoping that Doc Rivers in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's your best bet. And even then, I don't trust you if you do make the finals unless I see Jayson Tatum play like Larry Bird reincarnate. And even then, he doesn't even have to be Larry Bird reincarnate. I'm not even going to say the other player that he needs to play like, but he has to be great and not mid. He has to play better than Jaylen Brown.
I feel like that's a very fair assessment, because that's really all it's hinging on. Like, they have everything to win the finals this year. They have all the pieces, I believe, as a team. I don't think there's no more trades you can make. There's no more coaching switches you could do. There's nothing else you need to do to get these guys back into the finals and win the whole thing. Like, it's as good as the Nuggets are, this should be a Celtics championship. As good as the Clippers are, this should be a Celtics championship. And it's one of those rare cases where I think it does fall on, like you said, it does fall on their best player. Like he has to be that guy.
And when I just look at the East standings, they arguably have a tougher role being the number 1 seed, because in a what-if scenario, if the Heat keep the 8th seed for whatever reason, you have to fight that ghost again. Yeah. And then you leave, and then after that, you get the winner of the Knicks and the Magic. If the Knicks is healthy, and I mean like Julius Randle is playing like Julius Randle, and then Mitchell Robinson's playing, and OG Anunoby is going to play 47 minutes in regulation against Tatum, God bless.
Like, even though I don't believe in them, they don't have nothing to lose, so they're gonna play them as hard as they can.
They have nothing to lose. They have literally nothing to lose. And then on top of it, if you beat, and then like I said, the match, I don't think the Magic will give them problems, but the Magic's still gonna scrap it. And once again, Paolo has nothing to lose.
Yeah.
The Magic team as a whole have nothing to lose. And also the way that Magic team's configured, they can pull out a lineup where most of the niggas on the court is 4 of them are at least 6'8", and they can hoop. That's scary. And then they have a bunch of guards, so it don't make a difference either. All who can hoop. So, and then Eastern Conference Finals, you got Giannis. And even though Al Horford does an amazing job against Giannis,
I don't think it's happening this year.
Al Horford is visibly older. I would say that. And yeah, you have Chris Stapps. Still, it's Giannis. It's just, you got to hope Doc Rivers. So, with that all said, it's going to be very interesting to see where this goes. Very freaking interesting. But I just don't trust the Celtics, and it's mainly because of their star player. It's just because of him. The West is just easy to sit there and point fingers. OKC, I never considered them contenders in the beginning. In the first place, they're just too damn young, and Josh Giddey is going to be running off the court either way. Then T-Wolves, they're a little too early. And to me, it's easy to point at the Clippers, but it's obvious to point at the Clippers.
Yeah.
It's just too easy. It's too easy, you know. And plus, the Clippers playing with house money at this point. So I still don't trust them, but they're playing with house money. Like, they surprised me. But you still have to beat.
Yeah.
I don't trust them to beat the Pelicans in the first round. I just don't. Because I feel like Zion, who's been playing like really great basketball, is going to sun Kawhi and Paul George. Just my personal opinion. And Brandon Ingram plays like he has nothing to lose. So, but I think it's just easy to point out the Clippers. That's an easy target at this point. But to me, it's the Celtics. It's just straight up, it's just the Celtics. But yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I also agree. I think it's the Celtics. How many finals in like 3 years or something like that?
They've been in the conference finals,
but they've been in the conference finals almost every year since.
You gotta
since what 2017 at
Bron
least
last year.
Yeah, you have to get it done. You have to. There's no excuses. Everybody on that team is making money. Making good money. Making good money. So, like, you're just going to have to, like, make it work. If it's a new coach, after this fails, get a new coach. If it's a new team structure, you know, let's start thinking about getting that taken care of. But, like, it's the Celtics. And I think, like, you know, like the Timberwolves are also playing with house money. Nobody thought they was going to be this good. Niggas don't believe in Rudy Gobert. So, like, you know, and another team that we didn't even talk about in that East that can give niggas go, but if Cleveland finds some way to get it together, that's another team that's just scary.
It's a scary, annoying team.
Yeah, it's another team that's just scary. Like, if Donovan Mitchell don't play like anemic D Wade, he'd probably just go crazy, bro. So that's how I see it.
Yeah. So let's see where things go. Is there anything else basketball wise we need to discuss? Or we wrap this up. I feel like that's really it.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Go ahead, Tyler.
Just because I've been paying attention to it a little bit, through the different like podcasts and just kind of even talking to some of my friends that are still in like the AAU space and everything, or coaching and stuff. What's y'all opinion on the state of like youth basketball right now?
It's garbage.
The youth is doomed. Like, for one, shout out to Jamal Crawford for saying what he said. But this goes into, I think I said this on Facebook, and then this other dude from Curie who hoops, he said it as well. Shout out to my boy Devin. But we're both on the same page that at least male hoop basketball is in the garbage, right?
Yeah. Specifically the males. The girls, they're on the come up for sure. Yeah. But boys,
the women holding it down. Like, it's like, okay, let's just right now, college basketball is supposed to be at its absolute best right now. In its absolute best. Why is the women games, and this is no shade toward the women, because shout out to Angel Reese, shout out to the Caitlin Clark. Shout out to South Carolina, that whole squad. All of them girls is balling. There's more household names. And I can't name a single nigga who's supposed to be coming out in the tournament, because the tournament starts in 2 weeks. I didn't even know.
I don't even know who the top teams are in men's basketball is right now. It's been men's basketball, college basketball has been so dismal the last like almost 10 years, bro. Outside of like a couple spurts with like Zion and them,
like outside of that,
it's been
Zion and them, bro. It's been ass. But with that said, this says more along the lines that the male youth, their heart isn't in the game. They're not big household names. We don't even know who the top flight high school, like, at least I'll make it even worse. There's no reason why Cooper Flag, I'm seeing Cooper Flag highlights, G. Who's the raw black nigga?
That's unfortunate.
I don't know, bro.
We're
looking nasty right now.
We're capping for Cooper Flag, G. Which, hey, Cooper Flag can hoop, but that's the issue. Who is the raw black nigga?
I just think hoop dreams is dead. I think you have to be rich to play AAU. It's just the way.
Which is that's a huge problem to me. That's a super huge problem.
Culture in itself is an issue in itself.
You have to be rich to play AAU. You have to and then that's your exposure to colleges more than anything. Or you have to go to like a really good school. But in inner cities, to tell you the truth, like Chicago, like you gotta probably rely on that AAU culture.
And I feel like outside of Chicago, like cities, like, okay, I'm gonna say this: Chicago, I feel like you fine, because if you raw Chicago, you raw. Like your name gonna get out.
Well,
it's not as bad here.
You said what, day trip?
The cold niggas at?
Well, I feel like we don't have, like, at least right now, there's no. Well, Anthony Davis didn't get his name out until he get his growth spurt senior year. But at least when I was coming up, there wasn't like, okay, ain't no Wayne Blackshears, ain't no Anthony Davis. Of course, Derrick Rose is a phenomenon, of course, but like just me looking and just following people like who I went to high school with, who still pay attention to high school basketball and the level, there isn't no, oh my God, that nigga gonna go pro type nigga right now in the city. At least right now. I'm gonna say that at least right now. But with that said, if you were on Chicago, your name would be out.
Yeah, if it
really
like that, it'll get out there, because it's not as bad here.
Because because we respect what high school you go to above all. We don't care that you play for the mean streets. We don't care that you play for Derrick Rose All Stars and shit like that. What high school you go to? Oh, you hoop at Morgan Park? All right, cool. You hoop at Curie? All right, cool. Hoop at Simeon? All right, we know you raw. You hoop at Whitney Young. Oh, we know you smart and raw. You know, while maybe somewhere in Iowa, then yeah, you need AAU culture to be the kind to get around. You know, I feel like in LA it's not really that bad because in LA everybody's fucking rich too simple fast. So, but
well, no, that's where I think it's really getting bad at is like out west, because even when I'm listening to some of the like Hooper podcasts and everything, like Kenyon Martin was even saying he really like exposed like what's really going on with Sierra Canyon. He says a great school, sending kids there to to get their education for sure, but that's a school where the men's basketball program is not what they making it out to be. It's about who can they get to recruit to come here to get us more national attention, so we can get in these tournaments and get it for money.
The only thing
and
is,
then
Canyon is not a raw high school national school. They good, but they not raw.
But that's the problem, though. Why are you not good and you getting all these kids to come to your school?
They're good.
To play ball?
They're not raw.
But come on, you supposed to be raw.
Yeah, that's what
Tyler's kind of saying.
No, I get what he's saying.
You getting all the ex-NBA players kids to come here. You getting all the the niggas that got Ballless Lights mixtapes to come there. Why are you not at the top of the top? Like, it don't make sense. And then parents are complaining. But aside from that, the root of a real root of the issue is coming down to the coaching too. Like, these coaches, we need real coaching for these kids. We need coaches to teach these kids. Well, you can't teach a kid to love the game, but show them what, things that some the people that they look up to loved about the game. Like, it's a bad culture around it, starting with the coaching too.
Once again,
I also think people probably think they colder than what they really are.
Yep.
And they mess up when they get to that level. Like
that too. That's always going to be a issue. Some guys just gonna have that ego.
Like, niggas don't want to be a Josh Hart. But hey, bro, you're gonna be a Josh Hart, and it's okay that you're not gonna make a $60 million a year contract when you hit the league. But Josh Hart gonna have to a home anytime he hit free agency. So
Josh Hart will always have a bag. He's always gonna get minutes. He's always gonna be in a rotation. He's gonna probably, at least as a role player, win 2 rings.
Like that, I looked at like, because half of the Clippers got injured. I looked at their starting lineup. Nigga, Amir Coffey is still in the league, bro. Now you niggas better become some Amir Coffey. Like, that nigga still in the league, bro. I did not know that.
Well, yeah, like, he was. Yeah, when you sit on the bench, and Amir Coffey was a solid role player for them until they got added niggas.
Yeah, like, that's what I mean. Like, the fact that these people are Shake Milton, and he might be getting tossed around like an unwanted woman, but guess what? He getting money, bro.
He got a job, man.
Yeah.
He's gonna stay with a job. Like, what are you doing? This is the thing. When you get to the league, everybody is raw. I feel like it's like this. It's like this, honestly. When you get to college, to an extent, everybody was that nigga for their high school. To some extent, especially D1. Everybody was that nigga. Like, that dude probably averaged 40 and probably got district point records and stuff. But what is setting you apart, G? Like, what is setting you apart? That's why certain players stay in the league as long as they do. Because you got to figure out what it is. That's why in college, I feel like when you get to college, it's not just like, okay, I know I'm a bucket. Everybody's a bucket. That's why, for one, college basketball is so unwatchable, because just the pacing and that's more on the college culture in itself. Yet, it's just ass to watch. And my thing is, it's so bad to watch, yet at the same time, nobody stands out. And to stand out in college, to me, is easy as hell. It's very easy to stand out, but nobody stands out.
It's nobody,
because everybody's
trying to take a back seat to anybody no more.
Yeah, and I'm not even gonna blame NIL money when it comes to that. I'm really not. because this has been going on.
I was gonna get to that too.
This
The women NIL money
and balling. Granted, they're they still have more to prove at this point, but it's like still, it's no excuses with them. They're not making excuses for nothing.
Yep.
It's always an excuse with a lot of these guys now. It's like, oh, we didn't get this. We don't have this. It's like, you got a ball and you got a rim, bro. Go put that motherfucker in it.
Pretty much. And it's just for me, at the end of the day, I feel like the male youth specifically, a lot of them don't love the game. They good, they talented, they ain't no heart. Like LeBron said it a few times already over the past several years. These niggas don't got a heart for the game. They don't got a heart for the game.
It's all about.
Yeah, they want to get
the status.
They want the stats and they want the max contract, G. But they don't really love the game because it just shows. And a lot of the love just because they love it because they have to be 6'4", long ass arms, paws, and they just happen to be real athletic. And their parents paid them through AAU. The CNA moms did what they had to do to get their kid through. Sucked a few AAU coaches' dicks to get their kid going. So it's like, hey, it is what it is.
And don't get us wrong, this is not a rant on us, like a hate rant against the youth basketball and everything. It's a more concerning thing though, because this is why they complaining when they get to the league, or like, oh, it's soft, it's this, that, and the third, the Euros are taking over and stuff like that. It's like, you got to think about it though, bro. They are coaching overseas. They're coaching them to play against grown men at 12 years old.
Luka was winning MVPs as a fucking teenager, G. Against
he wasn't even 18 yet, bro.
Real niggas who've seen war.
And granted, players like Luka, anybody that's played overseas that really made a name for themselves and came to the league and been a good to great player, those are rare occurrences. Because you can't tell me, I guarantee you can't name me 12 kids that came straight out of high school and went overseas and dominated, or at least made some type of buzz about themselves. And that's where I think Brandon Jennings had brought it up when he was on Jeff Teague's podcast the other day. Like, niggas gotta give Brandon Jennings a lot of credit. He set a lot of these guys up to get the publicity and what they're getting now. Because even when Brandon Jennings was over, he said he went over there because something got mixed up with his college situation. Yeah. But he went over there to just get himself in shape for the league. He was already a league. That was different. It was different back then too. He was already league ready anyway. But these kids, they're not talent. Talent is only gonna get you so far, bro. And it's really showing. Like it's showing to the point where it's like it's certain guys that come into the league and you don't get excited for them no more. I don't care how good you are. It's like
none of these niggas.
You just don't get excited no more. It's like, okay, it's like a clone. It's almost a clone factory with a lot of these niggas now.
And that too. Everybody plays exactly.
Everybody is the same 2K build, bro.
Yep. I think that's the best way to describe it. Everybody's the same 2K build. That might be the name of this episode. Everybody's the same 2K build. And that's probably the frustrated thing because everybody do want to play the same. Everybody do want to take threes or just take everybody want to shoot crazy long threes or just dunk, which, hey, I get.
And I hate how they try to blame NBA players for it because it's not the NBA's fault. Once you get to the league, there's already set standards of everything, of how they, how certain guys are going to play and everything. That stuff starts at the youth level. If they're being coached and taught to, hey, shoot a three from beyond half court, what you think they finna do? If you giving them free range to do all this stuff and you're not correcting them, there's no course correction. They don't want to yell at these kids because their parents then paid $1,500 for them to travel across the United States. So they act like they can't talk to them a certain way. It's like you got to get in these guys' chests for real.
Hey, look, man, and the thing is, a lot of it do fall on AU coaching. Like, all I can say is shout out to Coach Mike, man, for Curie. I know he be coaching them young niggas. That's why a lot of real niggas don't go to Curie because they know Coach Mike gonna coach your ass. But either way, it is what it is, G. AU culture got to be better. The male youth got to be better. They have to be better. That's
Take away these sponsorships and shit, man. See if they really want to play ball.
Hey, look, man, you trying to take the NIL money, G. I'm sorry, bro.
NIL is when they get to college. I'm talking about before that.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's
it's team. It's a lot that go on with a lot of these AAU teams. They all these sponsorships and stuff. Take some of that shit away. Make them earn that shit.
Hey, look, man.
You see what some of these kids doing with it, man. They getting the money and then doing some dumb shit and screwing up their whole career before they even get to college.
Mikey Will. But yeah, I feel you, man. The youth is doomed. The male youth is doomed when it comes to people. It just is.
It could be fixed, but it's gonna take some work.
They're doomed. It's doomed, and I'm adamant about it. They're doomed. So. But it is what it is. But we'll go ahead and wrap it up with that. We appreciate you guys for listening as always. Make sure if you are watching us, like, comment, subscribe, whatever platform you listen to us on. We appreciate you for listening to the whole hour and 45 minutes of this podcast. Whether it's Spotify, Apple Pod, whatever, we appreciate it. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at 3S for the Ring. Follow, like the Facebook page as well. You Tweeking Media. We appreciate all the support. More content on the way, and we appreciate it. Peace.
Peace out.
Peace.